Welcome back to my channel. My name is Samuel, Career Masterclass 101. Please share this video. Follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, on all social media. My name is always Samuel Awonorin. Search for Samuel Awonorin or Career Masterclass 101 and you will be able to follow me. Today, I want to talk about sacrifices you've got to pay in your career. And what are the sacrifices you've got to pay in your career? There are many different ways in which you can work towards advancing your career. Many different ways. But not all of these ways are always pleasant. Some ways are very difficult. Some ways are very smooth. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices in order to advance your career. And you have to decide when you're making these sacrifices whether your career is worth the sacrifice. It's very important. And when we are talking about sacrifices in career, several things come to play. We need to consider the context because context is everything. We need to look at what do we mean by sacrifice? How far do we want to progress in our career? How driven are you? How competitive do you want to go to advance your career? If you have to choose between a family event and hang out with your friends, with guys, or your work, which one will win? That is where that decision of sacrifices comes in. Let's look at each life stage, for example, and look at what kind of sacrifice might need to pay during those life stages. Starting out as a new entrance into any industry, into any company. If you are keen on making quick progress, fast progress, and impact, then you might have to sacrifice things like your social lives, things like your hobbies, over studying to have more knowledge in your area of expertise, carrying out or sitting for professional exams so that you can advance your career quickly. While I was building my career, I did this. I studied very hard. I made sure I studied and learned the rudiments of my career. And it really helped me to go far. So starting out, you need to understand at the back of your mind that you're going to sometimes leave out your weekend, leave out your hobbies, and focus on developing yourself, developing your capacity, developing your output. When you're growing capacity, you'll be able to give better output into any company where you work. And this does not have to do just with IT, it cuts across all industries. That is number one, starting out. And as you begin to grow your career, you get to your early career stage. Now you've gotten a job, you spend a year or two in a career. At that point in time, several things begin to step in. Some of us want to have partners, want to get married. Some of us both us and our partner want to pursue career together, want to have kids and all of those things. They also impact your career very, very well. They impact your career very well. So at that stage in time, you begin to sacrifice your family. Care is not taken. That may happen. At that point in time, you might sacrifice your relationship. At that point in time, you might sacrifice some other thing. Some people don't even go into a relationship. They will sacrifice getting into a relationship into the future and run after their career for a while because they're just starting out. They want to build a cloud. They want to build the connection. They want to build a community around them. They're trying to build their brand. So they don't want anything to interject it. So, but for me, it's about being flexible in your outlook. You need to keep your skill current and ensure you are building positive brand for yourself. Looking at your strengths, looking at your expertise, your technical expertise, your non-technical expertise, but then you also need to balance it to an extent with your life. All right? Now, as you proceed from there and you get to mid-career year when you are about 8 years, 10 years, more than 5 years in the career, and you know that now you are growing. For those who want to get married, now they are getting married, now they are having children. Then you have to begin to make decisions between family, between your husband or your wife, and your work. And it comes at a cost. It's definitely going to impact your career. The moment you have children, your career will not move at the same speed it was moving before. And if you don't have children, what it means that when you grow old and you're not able to work again, you don't have family to call to yourself. So, but it's a balancing factor. So you need to balance it. Not everyone will have children, definitely. But for those who want to have children, at that point in time, the middle of your career, they are also putting that into it. And it's going to impact your career. So you've got to be flexible. You have to be open-minded to know what sacrifice can you make and what can you not make. Because you've got to keep your career growing. You've got to keep, not going, growing. And also you've got to keep your knowledge base growing while maintaining your family. You've got to do that balance. It's part of the cost of building a career. Now, then you get to your late career years. You know, you're now a manager, you're now a director, you're now at the top there. That stage as well comes its own cost. Challenges, sacrifices that you would need to commit to. For example, when you get to that level of a manager, of a director, you know you have the skill, you want to work from home, or you want to work in a particular location, you want to work part-time. That may not come handy. And you might not be able to resign to go and do that. So what do? You keep going. Oh, you remember, you have children in the university, you need to pay their school fees, you have this, you have that. That time you could have created to, have hangouts with your wife, go on holiday. You might not be able to do it because of commitment of work. Those are the sacrifices you make to keep your career. So looking at the context across career stages, there is always a sacrifice to pay that you must commit to. I've seen a situation where a man had to stoop so low and work hard with a manager, which ended up making him to become a director in his own company. Stoop low while others were saying, oh, this guy does not know, this guy is making boats, this guy is doing this, this guy is doing that. Today, he's a director in his own company, he's the MD of his own company, he's moving across the world. Why? Because there was a time he committed to sacrificing his time, his effort, his convenience to grow his career, to show loyalty to the company, and today he's high up there. You've got to commit to sacrificing for your career. It depends on how you see it. All right? So what are these sacrifices that you must commit to in your career? I have 7 of them. 7 things, sacrifices that you must commit to. Number 1, free time might become lost. Your free time that you used to do things that are for you alone, they become things that you don't have again. For example, you're just starting out your career and you need to apply for jobs. Or you are trying to change your career and you need to apply for jobs. Or you're trying to move into a new location and you need to apply for jobs. Your free time will go into it. That's an example. Number 1 thing you must be ready to sacrifice, your free time. To advance your career. Free time at times you use to study further. Go online, take some books, take some courses in your free time, rather than watching TV, rather than pursuing, making friends everywhere, going out. There's some free time you have to, win back and do some study and advance your knowledge. Because that knowledge will still help even in your, relationships with people, with business relationship and formal relationship. The second thing you must also be ready to sacrifice is your sleep. I can tell you, there are many problems I've had in the past to solve in my place of work, that it is when I come back from work, sometimes I wake up in the midnight and I sit down in my desk to try and think about it, that I get solution. I can remember one that I got solution at 3 a.m. Something I've been trying to solve for about 2 weeks. At 3 a.m., I was just thinking about it. I woke up from the bed, sit on my desk, launched my computer, and I was looking at this question again, and the solution came. What do I need? Just a head that is, rested, relaxed, that can look in the different disposition, different direction, in a different perspective. And I was able to solve the problem. So sometimes sleep, you might need to deny yourself to grow or make your career move forward. You may lose a lot of sleep while worrying about interview, for example. A lot of sleep. Another thing I think you might also want to, sometimes, sacrifice is your commute. Many of us want to walk 5-minute walk from our office. Yeah. But then, we don't always get a job in our ideal location. So, to progress in your career, you might need to take a step that includes considerable commute to work. You might need to move like an hour plus, some more than 2 hours, so that you can not just earn the money, but also work in a company that adds value to your career. Sometimes work in a company that prepares you for launching your own establishment. So it's very important to also look at that when you're making decisions about commuting to work. Another thing I look at is home, where you live. Sometimes the job you're asking for might require you to relocate. I have relocated to Europe from Nigeria. The job I got required that I relocate, and I had to relocate. Now I'm working from the Europe, right? That's what is required, and I've relocated. So the job you get may require you to relocate, not just across continent. It could even be across towns within your state, across area that you live, because they want it to be close to the place of your work. You should be ready to make those sacrifices if need be, considering if it's worth it for your career. Very important is your evenings and your weekends. Many of us don't want to sacrifice our evenings. Oh, my weekend is for me. I can tell you, if that is your mindset, that your weekend is for you to either, play away, once you come go to some function, do whatever they want to. It's good, you need to socialize. But there are times you need to take them back and use it to grow your career, because you might not have the time in your work hours. So your evenings and your weekends comes in handy to help you grow your career. Every company, again, loves an employee that is willing to work additional hours when needed. Sometimes that deadline is bearing down on you, and there is not enough time to do it during the working day. So if you're looking to snag that internal promotion, to get promoted within your office, sometimes working evenings and weekends can do the wonders for your reputation. Even that period can be used to learn new skill, to be able to deliver better on that same job. Yes, but a caveat. Companies could abuse it. So don't let any company abuse that for you. Ensure that you have a balance between what you can take. Don't let it become something that the company has built. But you should be ready to sacrifice some weekends for your job. Another thing is position. I've done it before. I was working in Stockholm, in Sweden, working with a company, and I needed to change my job because of what I was seeing. I need to change my job to somewhere I can have better and greater opportunity. And then I changed my job. I was earning the same salary, no change in salary. But the position changed. What I was responsible for in that company changed to what I am now responsible for in the new company. There I was working as engineering manager, leading people with no technical responsibility. And I said, that is not good enough for me. It's going to impact my career. For now, I don't want to do that yet. I still want to have some technical responsibility. And I changed my job to where I now work as a software architect. I have technical responsibility, and I also influence the work of people. I determine what they should work on, how they should work on it, what is the design should look like, what are the requirements that they should fulfill. Sometimes I do proof of concept, write code to demonstrate capability of what the solution I'm suggesting can do for the company. So sometimes position as well. It could even be you got in a new job, a lesser salary, but the position is the reason why you are taking the job. It's going to help your career. Go for it. And finally, number 7 is salary. Generally, we link career progression with salary improvement. I have left job for another job on a lower salary. I've done it more than once in my career. Why? I look at the opportunities to grow, opportunities to get connected to the right people. And I take advantage of that. For example, maybe you work in a company, they pay you very well, but you got another company, another job to another company that they don't pay that much because salary scale of each company are different. But that company that we're going to work for have international connections. Meaning when you work for the company, you could travel to other countries for conferences, for workshops, for meetings. That gives you international exposure. You begin to stamp your passport. As you travel, you stamp your passport. That adds value to your career. Even though the other one is giving you better salary. I will encourage you, jump on it. Yes. So in trying to, summarize everything, I've mentioned 7 things, and I said, what are the things you need to sacrifice? Your free time, your sleep, your commute, your home, your location where you live, your weekends, your evenings, your position, number 6, and finally, number 7, your salary. So in summary, life is all about choices. And the cost of those choices is what constitutes your sacrifices for life and for your career. So if you really want to grow in your career, making sacrifices is unavoidable. But I can tell you, in the long run, they pay dividends. Sacrifices pay dividends. Not only that, be clear about what you really want when you are making sacrifices. What is the outcome of this sacrifice? What you are prepared to do to achieve your goals. Be clear about it. What am I prepared to do? What kind of sacrifice can I make? Be clear about it. Then also be clear about your communication. Be clear how you will share that information with the people in your life, because they're going to be impacted if you have any. It's about finding balance and contentment in growing your career. Be honest with yourselves and be honest with others, particularly with your family. Don't pretend family come first, even when you know that they don't at that stage of your career. Let them know that at this stage of my career, you come second. My job first. That way, you will be able to balance it out. They will not have over expectation on you. Go out there, pay the sacrifices, keep your career going. Thanks for joining me again today. Please share this video. It's lovely. I can tell you, if you go through this, you will really be happy you do. Like the video. Follow me on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn, Sam.Awonorin. I'm on Instagram, Sam.Awonorin. I'm on Facebook here, Career Masterclass 101, Sam.Awonorin as well. I'm also on Pinterest, Sam.Awonorin. I'm on Twitter, S.Awonorin. Just follow me. And I can tell you, many more videos will come that you will like. Watch out for my next video. It's going to be something totally different from what we have done today. And it's going to be on how do you follow your dream. Thank you, guys.